Howdy doody, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another new form event with me, your host, Brandon Groce, and the infamous Cole Jan. What's going on, Cole? How you feeling?
Not too bad, Brandon. How are you?
I am excelente. I'm super excited with what we're going to be showing to our audience today. Before we get into that, I just want to share with you guys, thank you guys for joining us on both YouTube and Instagram. Got some house cleaning items before we get into the main meat of what we have today, which is showing you guys how to bring your websites to life using Figma and Wix Studio. Really, how to use the Wix Studio plugin for Figma to bring the designs that you guys have in your lovely Figma and actually bring those into the real world using this plugin, making them a real live site. So that's kind of what we're going to go over today. And with that said, I just want to say hi to some of you guys in the chat. We have DJ, what's going on? We have Code with Callie, what's happening? If you guys want to say hello in the chat, feel free. We'd love to talk to you. What's going on, King Shawarma? Love the name.
Nice.
You got me excited for the day. Yes,
now
sir.
I'm hungry.
I know. Let us know where you guys are watching from, and let us know how you're feeling. But first things first, if you guys are watching on Instagram and you want to watch this on the big screen on YouTube, type in the Instagram live chat YouTube, and we'll send you an automatic DM with the YouTube link. And if you guys want to join our community where we have one event each and every month helping you guys be a better product designer, UI, UX designer, freelancer, and overall web designer, put join in the live chat so we can send you an automatic DM our community. All right, those are the house cleaning items. Cole, what do we have for today? Tell us what we're getting into, and then let us know when we're going to share a screen, and we'll hop into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So today, I got a custom design for you guys that we're going to be taking from Figma. We're going to be moving it over into Wix Studio, and then we're going to be taking it in Wix Studio and making it fully responsive. So it'll work on every single screen size out there. So yeah, I guess we can start sharing, Brandon, and get straight into it.
Let's do it. We're ready when you are. So what do we got?
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, let me just walk you through the design real quick. Not a whole lot going on. Text on the left here. This I have made into an auto layout frame. And the reason for this is I actually didn't know this until a few weeks ago when one of the Wix product designers came on our live stream and taught us all about this. So if you make an auto layout here, it actually will import into Wix as a button. So we're going to use that on this element here. We're also going to be using it on this little chip down below here. Just going to save us some time. Then we don't need to manually recreate it. Yeah, going to be super useful. Here, this image was generated with AI. I love using AI now for, generating all sorts of assets. And then I just used literally the pencil tool up here to draw in all of these effects and stuff. So yeah, pretty straightforward. We have our mobile design over here that we're also going to be optimizing for in Wix. Very straightforward, but I'm going to show you a couple tips and tricks along the way to make things go smoothly when converting from the big screen to the little screen. So let's hop into it. The very first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need the Figma to Wix Studio plugin. So we're going to need to set up export if you haven't already. I'm going to assume you have it. So connect this file to Wix Studio. So we're going to need to come over to our Wix Studio tab over here. And I already have it set up, but if you don't, you would come over to these three lines, hit tools, and then check import from Figma. And that is going to give you only need to do that once ever for the site. And then that's gonna pop up this little thing down here. And so now we can start working with this panel on the side. And we would import our link up here. Now I already have mine connected. And it should come up with the file name up at the top. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is let's come back over here and click I'm done connecting my file, and we'll do this in a quick second. I'll talk about that in a second. The very first thing that we're gonna want to do that I actually learned a lot from the Wix product designer is we want to import our styles first. And this might seem like, oh, whatever, I don't want to import my styles first, I'll just change it on there. But it's going to make sure that especially your text comes in and looks a lot nicer when you do. So let's actually select a frame so we can grab the styles. You'll see that it's going to pull in all of this stuff. And this is also going to be very useful, specifically the typography, when we go to mobile and make it responsive. So we're going to hit export styles, and that's all we need to do on this Figma side. We'll hop back over to Wix, hit refresh import, and our styles should pop up over here. Fantastic. Now, if you are missing fonts, you want to upload them. I have uploaded New York Medium. It just has a bit of a different name, so that's why it's not recognizing. But we can go ahead and hit apply styles, and yeah, just like that, we have our colors in here, and importantly, we have our typography too. So let's get into the exciting part now, where we import our actual design. So now we can hit export frame. Sometimes you want to use wireframes. I find it's not that useful. It's not used very often. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hit export frame, and yeah, export the frame to Wix. So that's literally all you need to do in Figma. Once you're over on Wix Studio, we come back into this import and we'll hit refresh import. When in doubt, you just hit that button and things should pop up. Now, we kind of glossed over this earlier, but you do want your width to be 1440 pixels. Now it already is, but if it isn't, you're going to want to change it. It's not going to import exactly properly if those two don't match. Okay. Another important thing is down here, we can have the page, we can import a section, or you can import a container. Now, from what I learned, section is actually the most accurate. Why? I have no idea. Okay, but it is. We're gonna do a whole page, but if things aren't, working out too well for you, try importing just a section and see if that does a little better. We're gonna go ahead and hit add to site, and it should come in pretty quickly, actually. We'll give it a second or two. Brandon, if you want to talk about our community, feel free. Now's the time.
Sure thing. And also, I'm actually there it is. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're just popping in for the first time in the last couple seconds, we are working on basically helping you guys understand how quickly you can bring your Figma files to a real live site using Wix Studio and the Wix Studio plugin. If you guys are just watching now, and again, just a reminder, we have events like this once a week in the New Form community. If you guys are like, what is New Form? We have no idea what that is. Want to learn more? Put join in the live chat if you guys are watching on Instagram. If you guys are on Instagram and kind of want to watch on the big screen, put in the live chat YouTube, and there'll be an automatic DM that gives you where we're live streaming. If you guys have any issues, please let me know in the live chat whether or not it is working. But with that being said, Cole, it's back to you.
Awesome. Okay. So let me clear this out. So everything has been imported relatively well. We got a bit of an error over here, but we'll deal with that in a quick second. I'm gonna just delete the header and the footer because they're not super useful right now. So yeah, here's our design. Let's start organizing things and getting it ready to move down to tablet and mobile, since they don't look fantastic right now. So let's deal with this circle up the top very first. So often when you import things that just kind of don't fit in the flow, that are kind of outside, they'll be put into a container, and we don't want that container. That's gonna mess up some things. So we'll just right click on this and hit remove container, and then we can grab our vector art and just drag it to the bottom, and now things look good on desktop. So that's really all there is to it. And if you're just operating kind of within this range, then there's not a whole lot else you got to do. That's it. But most sites I always recommend to be mobile optimized. Just so much traffic comes through on mobile. So how are we gonna go about moving things around? So we could just hop over here and start dragging things around, and aligning things like so, but that's messy. It doesn't work overly well. We got a system. I have a system that I like to use. So let's start by moving kind of in the vertical direction first, top down. So we can see that these three elements are obviously going to stack one on top of the other for both desktop and mobile. So we're going to grab them, we're going to hit shift, and we're going to stack those together. Okay, this is very, very similar to auto layout on Figma. And then same idea over here. So we're moving vertically. We're going to ignore the shape on the right now, but this button and this image do stack one on top of the other, and they will stay stacked one on top of the other in the mobile version. So we're going to stack those two. My image has disappeared. There it is. Okay, it's back. Now we've moved vertically. Everything's been stacked vertically. Now we're going to move horizontally and work with that. So there's really only two objects here to stack horizontally. So we'll grab those two, we'll hit stack, and you see it's stacked it horizontally, which is great. So what does that do for us? On desktop, nothing really. But when we move down to tablet, now we can change this horizontal to stack vertically. And that's going to rearrange things for us, which is going to be very nice. Before we do that, I am going to change the height of this section. I want it to be the full height. I want it to be green kind of all the way down. So I'm going to come in here. I don't love using these starred pixels. They're not my favorite. So you'll see me a lot during this go into the advanced settings and turn on the advanced settings. Okay, we'll come into viewport height, and it says it's 100 view height right now. It's not. Sometimes Wix gets a little confused, so I just set it all the way up to 200, and if things will stop popping up, then we can come back down to 100. And now our whole thing is green, which is exactly what we wanted to have happen. And then later we can set this back to auto, so it'll just go as far as it needs to. But when you're working mobile optimizing, it's nice to have a little extra room. So this horizontal stack, now we are going to turn it into a vertical stack, just like so. We'll worry about this circle in a second, so I won't forget about it, but we're not going to worry about it quite right now. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we want to move from the outside inwards, from our biggest containers to our smallest containers. So our section, we don't need to do anything with our section right now, but our stack, this is our very largest container, and we are going to need to edit it. So I'm going to once again turn on our advanced settings, and then I'm going to change the width from 42%, which isn't very wide, up to something like 70%, which is a lot wider, going to give us a lot more room to work with. And then I'm going to take this whole stack and center it like so. And so really that's a lot of what we're going to be doing. We're going to change the width, and then we're going to center it for both tablet and then mobile as well. So let's come in once further. We have these two stacks now inwards. And we're going to turn on our advanced settings. Now, everything inside of here, I'm going to set to be 100%, just to make things easy. And 100% of our parent container, which is 70% wide. So it's going to be 70% wide. Yeah, that is going to be, we're going to do the exact same thing down here, turn on advanced, and change our width to 100%, just like so. Our image is going to get messed up. I'm going to fix that in a second. But bear with me, I'm gonna go ahead and enter this stack first, right? Moving from the biggest container inwards to our smallest text containers and image containers. So this text up here, we are going to center it. I didn't need to do that. We're gonna align it to the center. Now this text is a little small. We're gonna come back to that in a second when we start doing mobile. So just bear with me on the small text. We are gonna fix that in a quick second. We are going to center this too, and then align it to the center. And same idea with the button. We'll fix that. We'll fix this tiny text in a second. Now we come down to this image, and this will happen a lot to you. And I actually didn't fully know this at the beginning. I was always screwing around with changing the sizes of the containers. Don't do that. If your image gets cut off, just go to settings here and just hit reset image like so. And that's going to make things, it's going to recrop it, readjust it so that you can see the whole image once again, and it looks great. And that's exactly what we want to have happen. I'm going to take this stack and move it up a tiny bit so we can actually see everything. And the last thing I'm going to do is just take this button and center it like so. So this is okay for now. I am going to move this vector art down here and blow it up a tiny bit. We'll come back to this once we have once we've done mobile and adjusted our text sizes. But for now, we're going to leave that as is. So let's get on to the real optimization mobile, since not that many people actually use tablet. So same idea down here. We're going to do things a little differently, but we are working from outside inwards. So we'll start with our section, and this time our section is important. On mobile, I like to have generally anywhere from 16 to 24 pixels of margin on the sides. Here we're going to go for, I think 20 pixels is probably reasonable, but you can play around with anything in that range. And actually, I'm going to undock this. I don't want it on the top and bottom, just on the sides, like so. Okay, awesome. So that is our section done. We're going to keep moving inwards now to our stack. For this stack, we don't want it to be 70%. I'm going to set it to 100%, keeping in mind that we do have the padding on the side, so it isn't going to be the full width. It's going to be a little less than the full width. And we're once again going to move this up to the top. Awesome. Okay, so this is looking okay. The biggest issue that we're facing right now is the text sizes. And remember when we imported our styles, that was important, okay? So we're gonna come back up to desktop and we're gonna access our site styles here. So when you're designing in Figma, hopefully you're gonna design both a desktop and a mobile version, I would hope, especially if you're going to be mobile optimizing it. And that way we can know what text sizes we want for mobile and for desktop. So desktop, this giant text up here, we have 65 pixels, and that's going to shrink down to 35 pixels. Now, right now it's shrinking a lot more than it should. So we're going to come into our site styles here. And right now it's just 65 starred pixels, which is scaled pixels. But instead we're going to set a max and a min. So our max is going to be 65 and our min is going to be 35. And we're going to hit apply. You're not going to see anything change on the desktop up here. But if we go down to mobile, this actually looks pretty good now, right? It's, I would say, the right size, maybe a little large, but we'll deal with it. And then on tablet, it doesn't look awful either. Tablet's kind of this weird middle ground that can be tough to work with sometimes. But anyway, let's focus on this text down here now. So here we have it set to 20 pixels, and then we don't shrink it that much. We just shrink it down to 16 pixels down here. So let's make that change to our site styles. So once again, we'll come into the site styles. We will find our Montserrat, which is here, and then set our max of 20 pixels and our min of 16 pixels and hit apply. Now you'll see we have more styles down here that are for the buttons. Now, unfortunately, when you do apply these styles, they won't apply to the buttons. And I don't know why, but they don't. So we're gonna need to manually adjust them. But before we do that, let's take a look, and things are looking good down here. We're gonna need to make this a tiny bit wider, but we'll worry about that in a second. Now, for our buttons, the interesting thing about scaling text is when your text gets small enough on desktop, for instance, 18 pixels here, we don't actually need to scale it on mobile. So it is also 18 pixels on our phone as well. So that's really nice. We don't actually need to change anything. We just need to set it to what it is on desktop. And the exact same thing for this chip down here, 14 pixels and then 14 pixels as well. So we will come back up here and just make those changes real quick. So we'll come into text, and 4 pixels is very, very small. So we'll set that up to what it was before. And same idea down here, 4 pixels up to 16. Now, things don't look fantastic, so we are going to need to make some adjustments, but let's come back up here and make this text 100% width. So we'll just turn on advanced settings, and instead of dragging it around, which can be finicky, we'll just make changes in the right-hand bar over here. Okay, now the text is looking really good. We're gonna adjust our button a tiny bit and make sure that it is centered. And same idea with this chip down here. We're gonna pull this out so that it is nice and wide and center it once again. Now, finally, all we have to do is move this, this circle back here. It can be a little finicky since there's a bunch of stuff in front of it. So we're going to come to our layers, and I'm just going to use my arrow keys to nudge it around. Okay. And this does happen from time to time. I was telling Brandon about this earlier. So Wix has crashed on me, but it's okay because it does autosave. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. It should be saved if we come back in here. But yeah, I knew there were going to be technical difficulties at some point in this process. So just bear with me as we get this going. All right, yeah, so if we come in here, I believe it is this one that we were editing. That's why autosave is, you know, such a lifesaver.
We had to save tortilla soup on Grandma's pizza.
We did, yes. No, I knew it would happen. Sometimes this does happen, but don't panic when it does. Wix has autosaved everything for you. I thought it didn't autosave in the past, and I was just like, oh, it's gone, but it isn't. It's saved here for you. So don't worry. It's all there. So once again, getting back to what we were doing before, we're just nudging this vector art around to get it down below where we want it to be. Okay, and it's going to crash on me once again. Lovely. I maybe should stop doing that. But yeah, a couple technical difficulties. Sorry, guys. Please bear with me. We're almost done. And it's going to look really good once it is.
Soup is just hot, man. That's all it is.
It was. It was. No kidding. Okay. 2 seconds here. We're good. We're getting this back. Okay. All right. Note to self, stop nudging it with the arrows. Just grab it and go. Okay. If I can grab it. Please. No. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to drag this up to the top. Then we're going to grab it and move it around. Okay, that's not working either. There, we'll nudge it in like so. Sorry, bear with me. And then we'll put it back down like that. And hopefully Wix doesn't get mad at me if I just move it a tiny bit. Okay, that's pretty much all there is. Okay, now it's just perpetually crashing on me. It's more my computer than anything else, guys. I'm certain you won't have issues with this if you give it a try. But we did get to see the process of going from a full screen down to mobile. Remember to work from the outside inwards to make those changes. And if it does crash on you, everything is auto-saved. And now things don't look too bad. From here, I don't know why this isn't going 100%, and here as well, things look not too bad. Yeah, so if there are any questions, I would love to answer them. Brandon, do you have any questions on your end?
Sure, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. Really, what we wanted to showcase with you or for you today is what Cole just did. How easy to just bring over assets, how to configure. And actually, one thing that we could probably do, I think this is also important because I think the distinction is a lot of people think that Figma and Wix Studio are similar in that we're kind of like, well, in some people's minds are like, well, Cole just kind of redesigned what he had. I don't really understand what exactly the difference is. So while you guys are getting your questions in order, if you have any, Cole, maybe one of the things that we can do is see that you don't have the new update that Wix Studio has, where you have like the live site thing. So maybe we can publish it, see what happens, and show everybody.
Let me
kind of how that push and pull responsiveness actually works.
Let's do it. Okay. I just need to make sure the slug is good so I can get it. My site -10 blank 9. I gotta start naming things, otherwise I lose them. But yeah, let's publish it. We'll hit view site, and then it'll be blank because I need to enter the slug. So let's see, blank -9. Let's see if this works. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this is a real website, and I think I can give it to you guys. Let's see. Yeah, there's the live stream. Okay. Let me grab this and I can actually add it, give it to you. And Brandon, if you want to stop sharing my screen, I will send it to you
All right.
as well, and you can send it to your side as well.
Sounds good. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you just want to take a peek at what we have here, again, join our community, put join in the live chat. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, you're probably already in our community. If you want to see how this looks, put join in the live chat and we will give you an automatic DM to join our community, and we'll actually post this to where you guys can actually see it for yourself. Cole, where are you sending that? There we go. Because this link, even though we're putting it on Instagram, you guys are not gonna be able to click it. So I highly recommend you join the community.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that you check this out. All right, Cole, we good back to reshare?
Yep, go for it.
All right. We are back. Let's see the little stretchy stretch. Just so you guys can see.
Let me exit my full screen. And here we go. Okay. Now, obviously, there would be stuff down here, not just white space, but yeah. And then we can see that breakpoint as we transition from our desktop into our mobile, and everything squishes down until we're down here. Obviously, your phone would be narrower than this. I can't squish any more than normal, but yeah, that's it. And our circle is slipping down here. Not sure why, but normally it would be kind of up here to the side, like on our Figma doc. But yeah, if you want to see it again, yeah. And that took what, 25 minutes, Brandon? That was very quick.
That was
I'm
nice
sure
and short.
if you had a little more time, a little less stress with being live in front of a bunch of people, I'm sure you could make it even better than me.
Yeah, and sorry for those of you guys on Instagram, I actually did not change it to the scene where you guys can see the stretch. So Cole, you can do it one more time. Everybody on YouTube saw it, but not Instagram.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll give it another go. So yeah, here we are. This is our desktop, and then as we squish down, you'll see it transition to our tablet, where it's going to get extra, it's going to stack one on top of the other. And I should have actually edited this text to make it a little larger, but I forgot about the tablet breakpoint. And then as we come down here, it looks a little bit off because I can't make it any skinnier than this, but on your phone, it would be more compact, and things would look a tiny bit better. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So in summary, guys, I think some of you guys, Trekking Cousins, what's going on? You guys are asking for a summary. I'm gonna give it to you. So what you guys watched today, and again, it's not perfect what we showed you today. What we're trying to get across is how easy it is to jump from Figma to Wix Studio with the plugin and start getting into building a real website, so that you don't have to send what it is that you've built over to a developer. Wait. You can do this yourself as a designer. So these are things that we're just trying to give you guys a little bit of a taste. We have much more in-depth workshops and in-community sessions. For example, like our Tuesday sessions, where you guys come in and work with people actually from the Wix Studio team, support team, to help you build things that you're working on. We're trying to just give you a little bit of a taste of where your heads and minds should start to be going in the world of AI. In a world where I'm not sure if you guys have heard about Cursor. I'm sure Cole has, but where, you know, things are moving a lot quicker, and just designing is not going to cut it anymore. We have to, as designers, product designers, start to be able to build the things that we're interested in. And this is one of the ways, one of the good ways. And so what we wanted to share with you guys is how simple it is to take your Figma, to start in the tool that you know as a designer, how to jump into a tool of the future and start making responsive websites. Now, some of you guys with the link might be like, well, some of this stuff is not optimized. Of course, we worked on the site for 20 minutes. You guys saw it here. That was pretty quick. We turned it into a site 20 minutes. Now, the optimizations probably take another 10, 15, 20 minutes to do. So I just wanted to share, and Cole wanted to share, just how simple this process is. But as you guys continue to come into our communities, our more in-depth workshops, especially with people from the Wix Studio team, you guys will understand the the tool, the product so much better, to the point where you know, you guys might be start getting comfortable in joining some of our monthly challenges. For example, you guys are not familiar, we have a $2,000 prize pool monthly design challenge, where essentially we are asking designers from all over the world to create cool things based on a monthly theme. This month's theme is anime theme. Just in case you guys are not familiar, again, put join in the live chat if you guys are on Instagram, if you want to learn more about this. And I actually think if you put challenge, you comment challenge in the live chat on Instagram, there's a specific what's it called? There's a specific DM that should be automated to send to you guys about the challenge. But if you guys just want to join the community, which is where you should start, there's a ton of information about the challenge, both in our community and on newform.community. If you're on YouTube, you can click the link in the bio. If you are on Instagram, just put join. It'll give all the information you need there. But going back to the challenge, what we're really trying to do is cultivate skill building, or situations where we can help you guys skill build for the future of design. So our challenge, which is the $2,000 prize pool, where people are designing based on a theme we have each month. Really what we're looking for, last month we had 101 submissions for the top title for first, second, and third place in overall Wix Studio site. And we had somebody who'd never really used Wix Studio before. They joined our community about 4 months ago, never used Wix Studio before. And each challenge, they did a little bit better. They didn't win their first challenge. They got an honorable mention the second time. They got third place at the third time. And then this last month's challenge in August, they got top Wix Studio site and won $1,500. Yeah, they won the grand prize. So ladies and gentlemen, I highly implore you to join our community. We have a ton of resources, events like this, to where you can, if you're just a student trying to build your portfolio, if you're just somebody who is already at the top of their game, who's a senior and just looking for another creative outlet, this is for you. And also you're going to meet other people like yourselves building cool things, and you'll learn along the way with them on their journey. And you'll also be able to share some of what you've learned on yours. So with that said, guys, I think that is it. I'm going to take a look at the chat really quick, because I'm sure my monologue was enough for you guys to add.
Brandon, I actually, we got some questions over here. They want to see some animation going on.
Yeah,
so,
go in there. All right.
Yeah, if you could share my screen, we'll get a little bit of animation going. It won't be anything mind blowing, guys. But yeah, let's just show you how easy it is on Wix to animate basically anything. So just let me know when it's live, and we'll get in there.
We are live, sir.
Awesome. Okay. So people wanted to see the cup moving in, I think from the right, I believe. So let's do that. So when we come in here, we spent most of our time in the design panel. But if we hit this little lightning bolt at the top, we get animations and effects. We're going to do an entrance animation, but you can do all of these. Most effects are really cool, so are scroll effects. Let's start with entrance effect though. So I think people wanted it to kind of maybe come in from the right. So let's do a slide effect. Okay, yeah, something like that, but we'll adjust it to make it come in from the right, like so. So let's hit preview. Yeah, something like that. So you can make it even better than this. We're just kind of spitballing here. This wasn't part of the presentation. But yeah, let's do something like that. Ease out cubic, and then I'm gonna publish it, guys. So then that took us literally 2 seconds. We can come in here, and then if I refresh, I may need to give it a quick second. Takes a minute to kind of upload. Is it gonna come? It's not working. There we go. There's our animation right there. And I think we could even do maybe like a glide effect. That might be nicer than a slide. Yeah, something like that, but will come in from the other side instead. So let's do 90 and distance. Let's preview that. Yeah, something like that. That's going to be a nice effect. So really, really easy to actually get started. There's so many more complex things too, but we could select everything in here and add a tiny bit of animation to it as it comes in. But if I refresh, that's our old one. Let me refresh once again. It's going to take a little bit of time to update. One more time. Let's see. Come on. You got this. Update. It's not working. Okay. If you do want to visit the URL, I put it in the chat. So I think you got to screenshot it and then copy and paste it or something, because Instagram won't let you click on it. But there we go.
Or come into the community, guys. Come into the community.
Yes, come to the community. I will put the link in the community, and you can play around with it. I'll also try and give you all the files in the community too, so you can have this Figma file as well.
All right. So, last question. There was a question from let me see. I just answered it in the chat. But the username was Shomisita. I apologize if I did not get it correctly. But the question was, with containers or anything that you're putting content in, is it better to set container widths, or is it better to have padding on the page that you're designing? Honestly, Cole, you can add your thoughts to this too. It's just about how you want to build it. Like, for example, if you want to have a set spacing on the entire page, I would just say put padding on that page. If there's different for consistency, right? Like if everything is going to have the same spacing from the sides of the website, just do the padding on the page and be done with it. But if you were going to have dynamic and totally shifting containers, you know, for example, what Cole has here, where he has that stack, it's not necessarily a container, but that stack where he put everything in with the title, the paragraph, and the button, that whole section, let's say he had a whole nother section. You know, the content within both of those things might not be the same. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve that dictates whether you're going to put padding on the page to keep consistent spacing on the web page, or if you're trying to do something a little bit more custom within the page that's going to require custom or a very specific container width. So hopefully that answers the question. You have anything to add to that, Cole?
Well, that was a pretty good answer. I would say bigger spacing. When your spacings get larger, they take up a portion of the page. Generally, you want to do something that'll move around a little bit, especially on desktop, right? But when you're setting a set padding, generally those are going to be smaller numbers. Like when we went onto mobile, the side padding here is just 20 pixels, right? Not a whole lot. But when we're on desktop up here, if I go back up here, we have 9.4% left margin. Now that was set up when I imported it from Figma, but it's gonna move, like it's gonna shrink as we change the screen size, which is probably better. So I don't know if that helped answer the question, but yeah, hopefully it did.
Awesome. And last question, I just wanted to put this up here, is the question was from DJ on our YouTube channel. Can you export the site to host in a different location with membership? And I believe the answer is no. Everything is currently on Wix Studio. When you build something, it's on Wix Studio. There are, and Cole, correct me if I am wrong, but this is something I don't dabble too much in, but there is a possibility to do maybe something that you're looking to do, and I think it's called headless technology, Wix headless technology. Are you familiar with that?
Somewhat, like a headless CMS. I think so, but I don't know. You'd have to ask
don't
someone
quote
in the
community. There are some people in the community that do play with the headless sort of feature. And DJ, really quick, since you asked this, I'm just gonna type this in Google really quick for you, and kind of, here we go, Wix headless. I'm just gonna put this in the chat for you, buddy, so you can kind of take a look. And then in the community, there are some people that play with it, but see if this is a solution for you. If it is a solution, ask somebody in the community, poke around. There are a couple people like Yitz, Howplay, and Duncan, and a few other people who could definitely help out with that answer. And I keep saying last question, but we got another question from Elise. hopefully. But hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. Is Wix like WordPress? It is a platform, but I would not say Wix Studio is like WordPress. WordPress is a little bit of an aging dinosaur. I know legitimately the majority of the internet is built on WordPress, but we are slowly, we're quickly moving away from WordPress as the foundation for the internet. We're quickly moving to other platforms that allows designers or creatives like ourselves, or people, non-technical people, to really produce the web pages, the websites, the products, the membership sites, the e-commerce sites that we want to be building in a matter of days. I had a friend, just start up an e-commerce site in Wix Studio, and he finished the site within a week. And he had no idea. It took him a week, but he's never used the platform before. It took him a week, and I think he's already started making some pretty good sales with his fishing business. Pretty cool to see. But yeah, I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Is there? I think that is it, Cole. Is there anything that we want to close today's? You have any final words? What I'm saying.
It's easier than you think. It really is. I know we click through a lot of different buttons and menus and stuff, but if you just get your hands on it and start playing around with it, if you have any questions, we're always available in the community. Please come ask us. We love this stuff. We love to help. And we want to see what cool stuff you can create with this. So yeah, come join us in the community and see what's possible.
That's it. So if you guys want to join the community, if you're on YouTube, link is in the description. If you're on Instagram, put in the live chat, join. We'd love to see you. And the biggest perks of our community is we give you tons of feedback in our feedback channel. You guys can do our challenges each and every month for cash prizes. And it's just a good crew to be around, especially if you're trying to level up and really just be around people who are trying to get to their next level, skill up, build cool things. It's a great place to be. So with that said, guys, your host, Brandon Groce, and...
Oh, I'm doing that. I'm doing the outro. Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't catch on to
Snuck
that.
attack you this time.
Cool, Jan. Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. And we'll see you same time next week or in the community.
All right, guys, take it easy. Have a great day. See you in the community. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.